The mini ones.
What's our next event coming up?
Dark night.
Dark night at the Exeter office.
Dark,
Dark.
not dark.
Oh,
Dark.
dark night.
Chris is gonna show us Batman.
I know, dude.
Chris is coming as Batman. No, Dart Night. So, yes, Dark Night in Exeter should be fun. We're starting at 6. We're not putting an end time because it's our building. We don't have to be out. We can be there as long as we want. So we just got to get that set up. Bowling was fun. Anybody who missed bowling, it was fun. Who went to bowling?
I
Jared
did.
went to bowling. I went
Yep.
to bowling. Jackie, Romy, Gunner, who else went to bowling? Oh, Cindy, Kathy, Frank, Joseph,
Juan,
Juan,
Blanca and her husband.
Blanc. Oh, yeah. So I'm just gonna tell you guys that right now, the only 2 that are on the team are gonna be me and Blanca's husband, Justin. But we could practice some more. Because everybody else wasn't very good. Sorry, Jared.
On
Oh,
dark
you're
night, is there date and time? When is dark night?
Oh, I don't know. When is start night?
20th.
The 20th at 6.
The whole month.
March.
March.
Okay. All right, we've got 1 minute and then we're doing the drawing. I'm gonna make
March
Jared.
20th.
Yes.
Yes. So Jared is gonna do the drawing because,
He takes his own name.
I know, right?
Yeah. and that way nobody can get mad at Jared because he's our guest of honor today.
Pick a square.
It's gonna be a winner today.
Square one.
Don't look, close your eyes,
Okay.
Jared. Okay.
Very
Ready?
soft, black square one.
Round and.
I got the winner right here.
Gosh, damn it. That's not one.
Sarah.
Sandra,
Oh.
Ooh.
Miss Sandra, are you on?
is she online?
We have Jocelyn.
Jocelyn is.
What about Sandra?
Sandra's on.
Hello?
Wait, we're both here.
Wait,
Was it
you're
us?
on.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry. What happened to my Zoom?
Wait, are you on? Oh, shit, turn it off.
Yeah, that you have to be on until the end. Don't leave. And yes, congratulations. Okay, so we start
So
over
how much did she win?
$180. So we're gonna start over again next week with 100.
Okay.
How much do you add when you say?
20 bucks.
you.
Oh, why is everybody leaving now?
Yeah. It's over. Okay, so I had some questions from agents about how our top producers are doing what they're doing. And so that made me think, well, let's ask the top producers what they're doing. So Jared Davis is under the hood today, and he's generous enough to talk openly with us and talk about numbers and strategies and share what he's doing. So I'm going to ask him a few questions, and then I'm going to open up to you guys either online or here if you want to ask Jared any questions. But to share a little bit, Jared joined Downtown May 18th of 2022. Jared closed his first escrow 54 days later. Okay, and he accepted the lead. It was not city lead, right?
It was. Yeah.
On a Sunday at 6 p.m. on June the 5th. So from May the 18th to June the 5th, Jared got his first lead. And then he closed that escrow. So it must have been in May, June, in July, I would say early July. Oh yeah, it was July the 11th for $376,000,
Mhm.
right? So from then, so in 22, Jared closed 3 units, but it was 6 months, right? And he was just getting going. We all know if we get our license one day, it's going to be at least a couple of months, 60 days before we close an escrow. Jared did it in 54, but that's kind of unheard of. So in 2023, Jared closed 19 units. That's his first full year. So he was averaging 1.58 closings per month. In 24, Jared closed last year 32 units. And so he was averaging 2.66 units per month. He almost doubled what he did the year before. And this year so far, in 2 months, Jared has closed 13 units. And so we're averaging 6.5 per month right now. And Jared has 7 pending that we know of.
I didn't even know that. Thank you.
Right?
Keyword, that's
Wow.
only what Jackie knows of.
Right. So, yeah. So everybody needs to understand, Jared wasn't an agent who came to us from another agency. Jared was brand new. So it's pretty phenomenal what Jared did. And just speaking to how Jared works, it's his work ethic. He doesn't miss a lead. He's overly, you do a lot for your agents, I mean, for your clients, but, so I'm gonna ask you a few questions now, Jared. Okay, so
Yeah.
why real estate? Why did you choose real estate?
I was a correctional officer before this. So I would do overtime to make extra money, but being in prison all day is not too fun. So I wanted to do something different. I thought real estate would be fun. Yeah, so
Is
that's
it fun?
pretty much it. It is. It is. Is it stressful? Yes. Is it challenging? Yes. Is it easy? No. It's very hard.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Perfect. Okay. If when you started as compared to now, what would your now self, what advice would you give to Jared from when you were day one with the brokerage? What would that advice be?
To just pour into the trainings. Truth be told, I don't like going to the car things down south. It's a long drive, got to rent a room, I'm away from my kids, God knows what's happening when I'm gone. But if you take one nugget from a training down there, it was worth the trip. So every week we have things in here that sometimes I'm just holding the excitement in, the last one was probably, I thought was a really phenomenal training, was Brittany Scholl, the client relationship thing. So many nuggets are in there and I'm just like, oh my God, this is so good. So I'm humble. I'm a pretty simple-minded person. So my only thing is to get involved earlier and just really dive into the trainings.
Okay. And what are your strategies? Like what are you doing to get this amount of closings?
Well, before I answer that question, I want to talk about my failures because it wasn't too long ago, a couple of years ago, I was sitting on the porch and I was waiting for Sarah's car to show up. Like, oh, I'm going to talk to her. And because I had 3 people that had the jump, I was the number 1 to know about sell their home, and I didn't get their listing. They didn't pick me, 3 times in a row. Ugh, right. So, Sarah was, agreeable to talk to me, asked a few questions. Sounds like you're doing everything right. So I walked away and just really had to come to the conclusion, like, hey, why would somebody want to hire me? They're not hiring me for some reason. I don't know. And maybe it's lack of experience, lack of confidence. So I started doing mock listing presentations with my parents. Yeah, so I sat down with mom and dad and, and even when I was taking the kids to school, just like rehearsing what I would say, so, and then really just absorbing everything that the trainings of Chris, I have a lot of Chris Webb's sayings, in my tool belt, a lot. So.
Where are you getting your leads from, Jared?
Sphere of influence is number 1.
Mhm.
So if somebody's able to, if they're going to choose me to list their house or choose me to represent them as a buyer, I don't, it's not all of them are slam dunk. I've lost clients and whatnot, or they're not qualifiable, but I am really going to aim to just knock it out of the park. I want to leave an impression where they're going to remember me, that like, oh my gosh, this guy went above and beyond. He's the best. And I just want to cheer with them, so.
What are you doing? How are you working your sphere of influence?
Several different ways. So I am very adamant about having my ears open, just watching for opportunities. I mean, any opportunities. I have this thing that I learned from Louise, it'll cost you $1.25. And I have 5 quarters in my pocket, and this is something I do a lot. My goal today is to talk to 5 people about real estate. I haven't talked to nobody yet. And as soon as I talk to one, I just put it in my right pocket.
And are those people you meet on the street or sphere of influence people?
Sphere of influence. I seen one of my buddies, hope he's not watching Facebook. He got married and, you never know what triggers a home. Now there's 2 families living in a home. So I'll call him and, congratulate him about that and just hope that maybe not push the real estate on him, but just kind of genuinely congratulate him about that. And maybe he'll just think of me when he's looking for a home.
And so you said you like to make the experience so wonderful. What are you doing during the escrow to make that experience so perfect, so good.
Well, for the buyers, I give them the reassurance. I'm looking at them face to face. It's, whatever I say, I'm gonna do. So, when I say you could call me anytime, I mean, you could call me anytime. And I really do mean that. I had a situation I'll share with you guys, and, so I had this guy that was looking for a home. And he came to me and, he needed a little bit of credit repair and stuff, and I would check on him every so often. And, he just kind of faded out. So he went with another realtor unbeknownst to me, and he came back to me like a year later and said, hey man, I'm still looking for a home. I tried getting it with somebody else and I lost my deposit. So I didn't divvy too much into that. That was between them, but I picked up where, we left off, and, he did everything I said. I'll explain what he's signing. I'll send a little screenshot of the purchase agreement. Hey, this is what we're doing here, just so he understands, and he's like, man, nobody ever explained this to me. So he thinks I'm just like,
You're the expert.
I'm the expert. That's very important, so
How's your confidence level from when you started to now?
it's a lot higher, probably triple.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, humbly. Yeah.
And so, poor Jared, we talked about questions, but I'm going off script
Yeah,
here, so.
yeah.
What would you say to brand new agents is the most important thing, or any agent? And with, like you said, I remember those 3 listings that you didn't get. And you really weren't doing anything wrong, but I think sometimes it is a lack of confidence.
Mhm.
Sometimes. What would you tell a new agent? What would your advice be to a brand new agent?
Again, Chris Webb said it very well. There's so many faucets in real estate where you could gain business, just pick a couple that you're really good at and get good at it. I have 2 Opcity leads in escrow right now. Opcities are 1 in 60. That means I've talked to 180 people. And I have a third one that I did not get but we submitted an offer of 730,000, an Opcity lead. I take any opportunity, I try to capitalize on it as best I can.
So I think you've closed, how many, Jack? 5 Opcity leads. Which, it's not a lot, but it's five people you wouldn't have had. Have any of those led to any other business, like the Opcity leads? They eventually will, because if you sell them something, they're eventually gonna be a seller, or they can refer you to somebody, but have they turned into anything else?
They probably have. Because my very first one, I just started talking to him, and his brother that passed away was my baseball coach. He's from San Diego, my first one on Loop Drive ever. So we made a super good connection. And then about a year and a half later, his niece called me. And then she did mention, oh my gosh, yeah, you did sell my uncle a house.
And see, the Opcity, you guys don't have to pay another referral fee,
Yeah.
right? Because it's a referral. They have no connection to that.
Indiana and Westfield.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Another
Yep, that was
Those
a
5
yeah.
Opcities total or?
total. Yeah.
Yeah.
With, how many do you have in escrow right now? 2 Opcities? or
2
one?
Opcities.
2 Opcities, so it'll be 7. And is obviously a numbers game,
Yep.
but listen, Jared's response rate is 5 seconds. So when that goes out.
Oh,
he-
wow.
He responds within 5 seconds. Opcity is the realtor.com. It's a version of realtor.com. You have to pay a percentage, a closing. It's like a referral that you have to pay.
So-
Jackie, we have probably from admin.
So one, you were invited when you first joined with us. They are now at at wait list. So in order to join, you have to call realtor.com, go through the concierge service to see if they offer you the opportunity to be Opcity or one or the other. So they basically try to get you to buy leads instead, but you have to talk to them and get.
But how would Sharice see how fast they are? I think that's what you're asking. How did you get that info?
Oh, it's on, each person has on their statistics of the person. So if you have an account, you log in and you look at your stats.
Yeah, at the start, Anna, we all did it, but then a lot of people joined, and so they only take so many people, which is smart. Because you don't want to wash it down because it's fast. It pops up on your phone and you've either got to accept it or release it, right? Or not release, skip it or something.
Skip,
There's
yeah.
some other thing. And the faster you are, the more they send you, and the more you close, the better leads they send you. So it's all based on how you're responding, and a lot of them are junk.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't
a
wanna
ton
like
of
mislead
them
you,
are
like,
junk.
this is the key to success,
99.
obviously it's not. It just that if I have nothing going on, I'll take them, you know, I'll work them, I'll
And
try
you
'em.
can turn it off. So like if you're busy, you're gone for the weekend, I don't want to take, because it hurts your response rate if you don't respond. So you just put it to sleep, you know, you snooze it, and then you don't have to do it. So you work your sphere of influence, you
Mhm.
talk to everybody on the face of the earth, or at least
Yeah,
5 quarters
yeah.
worth.
Yep.
And you're doing Op City.
And then I think it's important to find somebody that you admire, or like, for me, it was Dustin Brome, who's a massive agent on Instagram. When, we went down to Long Beach the first time, I sat right by Jackie in this class. And, I loved his content. I believed in it. I thought it was good. He says that people don't want to see you just like jam-pack real estate on your Facebook page all the way down to real estate this, you know, that. Man, they want to see that you're a normal person. This is his perspective, okay? So I adapted it in my work ethic and my social media exposure. And, you know, people really want to just see that you're normal, you're relatable, you know, that you have kids and life is always perfect, or you're having fun camping, or hey, you know, you watch sports and stuff. But he says when they're laying in bed at night or just whatever, the stories. So put your little Facebook stuff or your real estate stuff on your stories. And then people just see how busy you are. And over time, you got to be consistent. Oh man, you know, Marty's doing another showing. Oh my gosh, man, she's busy. Well, whoever's seen her stuff thinks she's the expert, you know, and she is, you know, because she's practicing that thing. Or so.
So I think what he's saying is it's more important, the activities rather than just the standard for sale.
Yeah.
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 The
When
more
he,
personal stuff, the actual activities, the experiences. I mean, like when Jared did the one picking up signs in the rain in an open house, that's interesting to people. Also, it speaks to his dedication, right? So I think that they like that kind of stuff. They like seeing them.
no,
gosh.
no.
Yeah.
So, another person I really, really love is Jared James.
Oh, I do
He's
too.
a coach, and I've seen him twice in person, and I just dig him because he has a real high beat, high motor. I don't have a humility factor. So I will get on the camera, I won't even watch a video, and I'll just post it and let it go. You know, so Jared James. And one thing that stuck in the back of my brain is visibility will trump ability. You might be the most knowledgeable agent on the face of the earth, but if nobody knows you're an agent and they don't see you're doing something, they're going to go with the person that they last thought of or last, you know, are thinking of. So
Yeah.
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
What do you think was the turning point in your career where all of a sudden everything just kind of, this is it, I can feel it, like this is the
Yeah.
turning point?
There's not, it all kind of flowed together. So there's not like, oh my gosh, January 1st, 2024 was my, you know, whatever. I think it kind of just gradually snuck in there to where I was getting referrals. People were calling me, oh my gosh, so-and-so told me about you. We're looking for a home. And then also I felt good about what I was doing. I had to create a system of organization. You know, I think that's key. When people call you, you might be a McDonald's drive-thru or whatever. So they want to know something about something. It's best, oh, let me get back to you. So I carry around my notebook and I put, you know, I just have this with me rather than get on my computer. I can't do it all the time. I could quickly look and just say, oh yeah, hey, what's our estimated close date? You know, oh, we should be closing around March 7th. Keep in mind, that's a, you know, pregnancy date, and I'll just, whatever question they have. So I want to show you this list, and you could probably create a better one than me, but here's a really good one. That now Misty's TCing this, but I still keep track of everything. I don't fully rely on Misty. You know, she's a really good TC. So is Athena, you can flip a coin.
So you have a sheet for each escrow?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I could quickly navigate. I don't have to stop. I don't have to get on my computer. Just a sheet real quick. When I open escrow, I put the escrow number up here, who's it with, the escrow officer, the address, my disclosures to make sure they're all done and completed. And anything else that gets added on. This is it. We had to add on a SIP. We had our contingency removals. You know, so who my TC is, who the sellers' names are. Just this was organization. And anything that, my home inspection was on February 13th, just little notes I put on the back. So not the prettiest paper, but it works for me.
It's functional.
Yep. I also do that with buyers and listings. So, and I'm embarrassed to show this because it's so ugly. I need to do like a double space on these, they're so small, right? So, potential listings, I'll put the person's name on here, the address, and then, how I came about this listing, sometimes if I put that on there, or when they might be selling. And I am persistent. There's a, training we had here, and it was kind of mirroring, personalities, mirroring, just a conversation. If somebody's raw high motor, you go with them too. If somebody's kind of, low and reserved, you kind of be low and reserved too. There we go.
Match and mirror, yeah.
So, if somebody's like, yeah, I thought about selling and this and that, maybe I won't hit them up every week. Maybe it'll be every 2 months or something. Or if I'm driving in the neighborhood, I'll knock on the door. Hey, just wanted to check and see how you're doing, anything I could do to help you, or, is a listing, are you still looking to move along?
Do you daily drive through neighborhoods and knock on doors?
I do not. But, door knocking is a thing I'll do, it absolutely is.
How often do you do that?
So sporadic. So one time I left early to pick up my kids. I didn't realize what time it was. I'm like, oh, they don't get out for an hour. So I door knocked. I door knocked for an hour. Why not? And then I knocked on another agent's kid's house. So I sent him a little video like, man, I was right here, and he's all, oh, I love the work ethic, so.
Did, working at the prison for 20 years, does that help you get some leads as well?
Marty I don't know if you could hear that online. Marty wanted to know if working at the prison has been a source of leads for Jared.
I think any sphere of influence. So yes, I have had some people that worked at the prison, that chose me as a realtor, and I did help me. And then I also see other ones that they have their photo with their realtor that they chose, and unbeknownst to me, and I hit the like button. I press congratulations, I mean, yeah, so yeah. From your prior jobs.
Yeah. How about open houses?
Open houses are nice because I love doing them. Haven't done one in a little while, but I love doing them. I love making connection with people, and
Do you get leads?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yep. So, and it just being able to
Stock leads? You stock leads?
stalk.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Like you stalk them like on Facebook?
Oh,
Oh, Chris asked, does Jared stock leads?
sometimes I'll do a little background check. Yeah. Yeah, I will.
Oh,
So,
to kind of see what life is happening with them, you mean, Chris? Like what's going on with their life and see what's happening or not?
Yeah. Or like if you get a name, you throw it in RPR to see if they own a house already.
Oh, yeah.
And when they bought it. and-
I don't go to that extent, but I will now. Yeah.
Okay. What has been your biggest win?
I'm in the middle of it right now. So I'm so happy, yeah. So there's a escrow where. Gotta be careful because I don't know who's watching. No, just kidding. It's a complicated one, but we turn that point, I know it's gonna work out. I know we're number 4 and 5. So there's a mystery person buying a house in Madura.
Oh my
And then
God.
Maduro's buying 264, then 264 is buying our listing at Parks. Parks, we are buying his forever home. And a lot of things have to go, right? So we're about 8 days away from closing. I called the title company to see the progress of the solar. We didn't know there was solar.
Oh,
So, follow up, it was the escrow assistant. So I forwarded her the opening of escrow that said there's solar. So, but luckily we'll be okay.
Biggest lesson?
Biggest lesson. I mean, no, I'm plan A, B, and C in my household, and it's all on my shoulders. So real estate's a neat career where you could put as much as time and effort into you want, and you'll get results. So consistency is key. Nothing beats consistency, nothing. So.
How
If
do
you
stay
had,
so
Go ahead, Chris.
motivated? And are you motivated every single day?
I get tired sometimes, but I just have here's where I will talk about my prior employment. I mean, Mike knows, in some kind of career like ours, you can do everything right and still be kind of like criticized, right? So real estate in a fact of, it just responsibility, if there's something that needs to get done, I'm gonna get it done, so.
What does the day in the life of Jared look like? Tell us what
Ooh.
that looks like.
Getting up about 7 o'clock if I got a good night's sleep, maybe 5 in the morning, and but mostly it's 7. And then getting ready, getting the kids out the way. Before I go to sleep, I make a checklist.
By the way, Jared has 5 girls.
Yeah,
5 girls. How many are at home? 4 now,
4,
right?
yeah.
4 at home, 1 close, right?
Yeah.
Still close
Oh,
in
yeah.
the area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I make my checklist, and if I'm laying in bed at 10 o'clock, I haven't fully went to sleep and something, oh my gosh, I gotta do that. I'll go right up my checklist for the next day. So this maps out my next day. So I'll get up, take the kids to school, and then I'll just work on my checklist. And sure. That's everything that I'm supposed to be doing today. Yeah, nothing, so sorry, it's not pretty. But it gets the job
doesn't have
done.
to be pretty.
Yeah, it gets the job done. And I have like lead sources on and stuff, a checklist on my iPad, but by the time I whip it out and get it going, it's like, man, if I have it ready and available, that's what works best for me. So.
And now, so you're doing, oh, this is the other thing that's amazing is Jared is getting referrals already. Referrals typically happen about 5 years after you start selling real estate. Jared's already getting them this will be year 3 when you're done here.
Mhm.
So that's amazing.
Mhm.
And you're doing less open houses, I'm guessing, because you're busy and you're
Yes.
working,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
showing property, listing properties.
And the kids don't be fooled. The kids keep me really busy.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm like,
Do you feel the switch from working with all buyers to now going into more of a listing agent? Are you 50-50 or what do you think your breakdown is?
I'm
What-
probably 60-40. I'm probably 60 on the buyer side, but I will take business anywhere. That's my philosophy. I was talking to an agent the other day and I was telling, he's like, yeah, I don't really work with too much buyers, and that's their preference, who cares? I'll just take it anywhere, either side.
Do you like working with buyers or sellers better?
Shoot, I don't have a preference. I really don't. I don't know, flip a coin. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
So-
cold call?
I do not. Nope. But I'll if somebody makes a reference on, I put a few things on Facebook, buy and sell, and they asked, oh, where is this available? And 1 in every 20 answer back. And so I'll friend request them and I'll do that. I'll kind of go after them that way, on Messenger or
Is that
whatnot.
the only spot that you normally get business from? Is it from Marketplace, or do you get online? I mean, is it or do you get a lot of business from social media?
I don't think so, but I will add people at random. I'll just add some people, try to get my friend list up, and I hope that they see me and they're picking me because they see whatever I'm doing out there.
How many friends do you have on Facebook?
But I think it's like 1,400, I think. It might be more, I don't know. Let's see.
Okay.
I did have a client and it was touching. And I was thinking to myself, I go, but he knows somebody that we know, and I was at a pizza place and I was talking to him that we know. I go, yeah, I'm getting Johnny a house. He's like, yeah. I go, I don't even know how he started talking to him. It was like 1.5 years, the works. And he's like, I told him about you. I go, oh, thank you. So he's funny because I think gauging him, I don't think people could be private, right? So I don't think he really wanted to go with somebody local on the lending side for who knows what reasons. Maybe don't want nobody to know how much money he has in the bank. So he picked a Zillow lender. And I was a little skeptical, like, oh, so I called the lender, he's pre-approved. I let the listing agent know, but we were the only offer. So, I mean, you got to take us, right? We're the only one. It's been on the market for a few months and you had a fallout. So I go, I promise I'll try out my best. And we closed, and he's so happy. And it might be a little far-fetched. That was probably a harder one to do, but
Have the
was
opposite
rewarding.
leads been harder than the sphere of influence?
Oh,
And
yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah. Yeah. So I don't pick every opposite lead, just sometimes I'll, I got nothing going on. Let me take some opposite leads or something. So sphere of influence is definitely number one.
How
100%.
how far do you go with those opposite leads before you release them and say bye-bye?
So I will break down my buyers in 3 tiers. Tier 1 is, I don't care how I got the lead, but tier 1 is you're being proactive, you're getting pre-qualified or you're already pre-qualified. You're in a good position to buy a home, you're tier 1. So I'm going to touch bases with you more often, right? Send you more houses. Tier 2 is maybe you're lagging or for whatever reason, maybe, I don't know, people take 2 or 3 days to get back to you. I don't know what the deal is. Or, you're not, you're just not too responsive, but you're there, you're there. So I'll kind of, and I ask the questions. Okay, well, what do you do for a living? You could kind of gauge things, right? If you have good income or whatnot. Tier 3 is, hey, look, you may not be in a position to buy a house yet. I'll keep them on my list. Because those people might come back and say, hey, well, this guy's really good, maybe they can't, unfortunately, maybe they're not in a position to get a house now, but still treat them good, still check on them every 3 months or something, has anything changed or anything, and then maybe they'll give you referrals, so.
Perfect. Okay. When you have an idea, how do you take it from thought to action? Like what steps do you take we all have ideas, right? But to really implement it.
So I have some ideas in the back pocket that I'm like, oh man, I need to start on this already, man. Geez Louise, right? So I have this, I'll talk about my most recent idea. It's getting one step closer. My mom and dad are moving out of state, so I'm super sad about that. So one thing is I want to get some of my mom's recipes before she leaves. And she makes these really good peanut butter balls. So I'm gonna have a little card that has the ingredients on one side and the how to make it on the other. And I bought these boxes, I think, on Amazon. So I'm just gonna put peanut butter balls in there one day and just go freaking pass them out. My business card on there to everybody I know. Yeah, so that's an idea that I don't even know where it came from. So if you see something that I do that you think, oh man, implement it in your business. I mean, yeah,
Perfect.
I like Brittany's idea about the, scratchers for St. Patrick's Day. So I'm gonna buy dollar scratchers and send it to everybody I know, the past clients and
Jared is also good about inviting to events.
oh yeah.
He invites people, clients to him. Talk about Exeter, what happened in Exeter when you invited people over there.
Yeah, so man, you just can't miss opportunity in real estate. It's like literally everywhere, So these events are really good. The Brew Fest in Exeter, the brew event, the beer event.
Cheers for clients.
Cheers for clients. There we go. So I invited some people, and this one guy, I didn't know he was going to sell his house, but I knew he liked to drink beer. And I coached his daughters 5-6 years ago, right? So I invited him, and he didn't make it, but he did say, "Hey, man, I will be selling my house, so I'll be hitting you up." So he did, and now we're in escrow. A listing, and then he's going to need a home after that. So we're going to try to. And that's like 2 things for he didn't even show up. You know what I mean? So the one thing that Jared James says that I love, and Sarah mentioned it once, is there is no such thing as past clients. Too many people focus on one side of the transaction or your business of future clients. I'm trying to get with, open houses or whatever, cold calling or Facebook Messenger. I'm trying to get these people, but focus on the other side of your business where hopefully you did a good job for them and you could get referrals and send them Christmas cards. Jackie's real big on that, and those people on my sphere of influence are gonna get the chocolates, the peanut butter balls. So I like that.
How often do you send stuff in the mail to your sphere of influence? Do you?
No,
You
I'm
don't?
terrible at that. So I'm trying to get better at that, to be honest. So
Do you sync?
I started using it and I need to get back on that, and I really do. There's a mutual person, he was on a realtor, another brokerage. Gunner knows him really well. So I was with the event with Gunner and I see my way to get in to talk to this guy. I'm like, man, because I admire him. I really do. And I told him like, hey man, I've just been in real estate 2 years, like what is your biggest thing? I don't want to take too much of your time. CRM. Totally. And he preached on that real quick. I'm like, oh, the guilt sets in, right? Because people pay a lot of money and Sarah pays for our CRM. So that's on me, for the next level. That's shame on Jared.
There is a lot of passive stuff that can come because we don't send out, the campaigns. It happens without you having to do it. Jared, don't let Jared fool you. Jared worked so hard. Jared, from day one, Jared was totally serious about what he was doing, took it very seriously. Jared came, I think, if we gave an award for coming to the most training, it's going to probably be Jared, right? Because he's always here and he's taking notes. Jared takes notes all the time. Jared listens and takes notes and then implements it. So, and it's not easy to do what you've done in 2 years. It's pretty amazing. I'm super excited to see what's going to happen for you this year. The way it's starting is phenomenal. Does anybody else have any questions? Any questions about what Jared does? How about online? Jim Carson.
Say you're gonna send out the lottery scratchers. So you're gonna use mail, or are you gonna just kind of?
I'll use mail.
Strategy, you're just gonna walk around and hand them to people?
Nope.
So Jim asked, I don't know if you can hear it online, Jim asked. That he said Jared's gonna pass out the scratchers, is he gonna hand them out or mail them? Go ahead, Jared, what are you gonna do?
I was gonna mail them, you know, so yeah, that's my key right there. Put the lucky penny on there, tape it on that dollar scratcher and mail it out there. And you know, how lucky was I to be your agent? You know,
What do you
right?
do, put it in an envelope, or how do you get? You
Yeah.
have to, right?
Yeah, just an envelope. Yeah, that was my plan. Yeah.
Because just doing Christmas cards was 4 days of intense.
I bet.
Writer's cramp, you know, I'm just wondering what kind of payoff sometimes, and sometimes if you don't know the payoff until later on, you're playing a long game, I guess.
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you use Sync to send off, or a third party to send off the card, you can upload your picture and multiple forms, you know,
Say again,
using Sync.
just send mailers?
A postcard mailer.
See, I keep hearing about all the stuff Sync does, and I just don't know.
I don't know what that is.
You guys just have to, I can't train you on sync.
Yeah.
You guys have got to get in there and play with it. Like you really just got to get into sync. There's tons of tutorials, tons. I mean, because honestly, I'm not an expert. Jackie's not an expert. Chris Webb might be more of an expert than any of us. There is a way you can do third party, but there's also Wise Pelican. Wise Pelican also.
Google mailers, companies for realtors, like 1,000 of them pop up.
But the key first is having all your clients in one spot. So if you don't have all your clients in one spot, i.e. your CRM or sync, it's hard for you to send the mailers. So then you revert back to having the handwrite if you don't have them in the spot. Now, Christmas cards, I do believe in handwriting,
I handwrite all mine.
but when it comes to the monthly postcards, whatnot, I believe in the auto system of having it mailed out, printed. When I fall behind on my Christmas cards, I will print my labels and send it out that way, which is not ideal, but that's my last resort.
I would suggest to you guys, do a tutorial on sync once a week. Get on sync, start playing around with it. See what it does, what it allows. But the biggest thing that it does is it just keeps all of your leads, your sphere of influence organized. And it's so easy in one spot. So Jackie prints out labels for me from there. And so like, cause I like to do my own postcards and I like to label them myself. I just like to do that. I don't know why, but so she does that for me. My Christmas card, I printed off the list from that. I had my Christmas card list. And then they're still getting all of the auto campaigns.
Can you text?
You can text from St. Kiss. Yeah, you can do that.
It comes from a different text number, not yours.
Yes. Is there anything on the chat, Jackie?
Okay, Justice says, what advice would you give for someone wanting to transition from part-time agent to full-time?
Oh,
agent?
that's a good one. So Jessica wants to know what advice would you give someone wanting to transition from part-time to full-time? What do you think, Jared?
You know, first of all, I'll just answer it like this. I mean, I when they have the conversations at the other place, well, I wasn't at the other place. I'm homegrown here, you know, under the roof. That everything I learned is from downtown. So, I mean, be consistent. I mean, this stuff really works. Do open houses, hit your sphere of influence, care, you know, at least have 5 conversations, like go all in trying to prospect. That's my advice. I mean,
Go
just
all in.
Go all in. Mhm.
Would you quit your job?
Well, I mean, I didn't get another job when I was doing this. I mean, there was sometimes close. I've had some 0 in 3 months. I mean, they're not fun when you haven't made a commission check in 3 months or 4 months. I might be, you know, 1 more month away from working at Starbucks, but I'll do it with a smile. And, you know, I won't quit real estate. I'm going to stay consistent. And, you know,
Do you pass out business cards every day?
no, but I have some in my wallet and I think they're good to have, or Gunnar told me that, where you just tap the phones. I've done that a few times, you know, so, but if.
So when you're doing the 5-quarter thing, it's more
Phone
calls.
Yeah, but
It's Mm-hmm.
people
called.
already know. Yeah, people already know. I haven't heard from that person in a while, you know. Or I'll go through my list of potential buyers too. Those are good calls too, right there. At one point in time, they told me they were thinking about buying, or, somebody told me, maybe my brother said, hey, my wife's cousin's gonna be buying a house. Like, oh, okay, well, do you have her number? Can I text her and just introduce myself and then try to make contact? So I don't hit everybody. Everybody doesn't respond,
One thing I can vouch for with Jared is I've been around Jared a lot. We've been in the same car going places, we've gone to the gym together. And I can tell you that one thing that Jared does is a lot better than me, than I want to be able to learn from him in this aspect, is he's fearless with talking to people. We were getting gas, we were pumping gas at a freaking Arco. And some guy pulls up and is on the other side of pumping gas. And Jared just starts talking to him, ends up giving him his card and has a 5-minute conversation while I'm in the passenger seat going, come on, dude, let's go. And he's doing that, or at the gym. We'll be sitting there working out, we're in between these different things, and I'm like waiting on Jared to quit talking to this freaking guy that's over here. I'm like, come on, are you gonna get on this machine or what? I'm going. So he's so proactive with talking to people. There's no shyness in his, at least it doesn't appear that way. And I feel like that's a super good quality that's probably helped him a lot, and I feel like it would help anybody. I've learned from that. It's like encouraging me to like get out of my comfort zone and just talk to the people around me more.
Frank's asking, how did you make the transition?
Did you have a transition between working to full-time real estate?
So I passed I took my courses like 6 years ago, and I was coaching my daughters at softball, so I never did state board. I just never did. I thought it one day. And then I unexpectedly got hurt at work and had a couple arm surgeries, and I was thinking like, shoot, man, I might have to get another job. This may not work out. And then long story short, that job ended. So I had to do something. So I took the courses already. I wanted to do it anyway, so I just jumped in. And like Sarah said, I never missed a training. I mean, I really was sold on this. So
Jared, have you ever coached with Jared James or any?
just softball, no.
Maribel's asking if Jared ever used a real estate coach. That's what you're asking, right?
No, nope.
Oh.
But I will take, there's so many tidbits that come out of this office that is so good. And I'm not shy to be like, I've told Anna, like, yeah, Anna, maybe one of these days, can I just mastermind with you a little bit and just and she was willing to, and I'm so thankful for that. And, just to pick up an idea or two, I get my slumps too. I mean, we're all human. So.
How do you balance like your home life with the girls? Like, cause you have that 5-second response time. Do you ever get hated on for that from your girls? Cause I know I do, and I struggle with that do you have a time where you can shut off from real estate and just?
I'm pretty stubborn.
unplug?
I'll be honest, I'm pretty stubborn. Yeah. And I'll, when I have responsibility list, I'll prioritize things.
Yeah.
So if I have like a home project I'm wanting to do, like, oh my gosh, I can't wait I've been trying to put up a fence at my daughter's house. But if something comes up, I prioritize it. And this is my number one thing. It's so balancing wise, it's okay. I could time block things, say, hey, I have another appointment at that time or something to focus on what needs to be taken care of temporarily. So
I've seen Jared, well, when your daughter was learning to drive, she was driving the car. Jared was in the passenger seat on his laptop.
I love it.
working.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a distraction or what was happening there,
Yeah.
but yeah, and I've seen the girls with you a lot when you're working.
Yep.
lot.
Find something that makes you relatable to people out there. You have kids. I know so many things by seeing everybody in here. I know Jim likes beer, from his Facebook. I know that Gunnar likes hockey. I know Chris is really, passionate about his girls, and they're all big 49er fans. Sharice likes fighting, everybody, Anna likes pickleball, so just things right there, it's going to stand out to your sphere of influence, like, oh man, that person's cool and this, that, and then they've seen your little stories, like, oh man, they're a real estate agent too, and it's like magic.
My boys were little when I started selling. Gunnar was 3.
My 5-year-old hates on me.
I would,
To answer your phone.
yeah, well, they also
Don't
need to
grow up.
realize that if you had a 9 to 5 job, you would be gone 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So they need to realize what you do. My poor boys were in the back of the car and I think I was flinging burritos, Taco Bell burritos, like, be careful,
Nice.
be quiet, stop talking. And you're trying.
So, what, one time I had an agent say the way he would break it down, cause he would shut himself in his room. And so that the kids knew not to come in. But the kids were transitioned to believe that when daddy shut his door, that meant he was making money to take us to Disneyland. So they wanted to go to Disneyland, so they would say, okay, it's Disneyland.
He might have been taking a nap.
It's like, so what they would, what I've heard many preach is getting something to relate to them, identify that this means this. Like it's worked with my nephews where they understand Dia selling the house, that means money for them, so they hop on board to help Dia sell the house. They know to be quiet while I'm on the phone and they're very helpful with it.
My kids just destroy my house if I went into a room and shut them.
Whip them.
Evil one, I can tell that came from experience.
A little young, she'll stop
Whip 'em.
in the house.
The infamous room.
You know one thing, with my girls, I've had that exact same thing happen where they're like, oh, dad's on his phone. Yeah, can we do something? Cause you, blah, blah, blah. And those moments are kind of cool, cause one, you can tell them, hey, this is why I'm doing this. And then two, it does give you a little bit of guilt, so then you end up doing something special. I don't know if you do, but me, I'll be
No, I
like,
never do anything special.
well, I mean, in those moments, like when they say something like that, it's a teaching moment, and then I'll be like, all right, now let's.
We're gonna go get your nails done.
Yeah, we're gonna spend some quality time doing something right now, and so.
It's tough with
We do
kids.
that
It's a
once,
balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
No.
what I found for a kid too, was like, you like to live inside the house, not outside under a bridge, and you like to eat, well, that's why I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
Well said.
Anything else?
I think
Any
there's,
other
yeah,
questions?
camping and I have my laptop and I'm trying to find service and I'm freaking out. And I was like, no. I'm just like,
Yeah,
Mom,
that's
just
not-
camp.
That's not, yeah, it's hard.
That's when, so Jared, for instance, he was gonna be in Arkansas, so he wasn't gonna be able to, he was concerned about one of his listings or estros. So he called up Misty and hired Misty for that deal. Misty doesn't do all his files, but since mostly he sees a lot of his files, he hired Misty for the one where he knew would conflict with him being away so that he could be hands-on at the house. So that's also an option.
Do you feel like TCing your own files increases your interaction with your client and makes you more hands-on and more in the deal?
I wouldn't encourage it, only because I'm trying to break away from it, but I do have, I just want to make sure everything's going smooth. Like I didn't take the title company's word for the solar thing. There's 4. It's not like, oh, we messed this one up, let's hold up the other 2. We're all gonna close, it's gonna go. So I called them. So it's more of I'm learning a lot with this Misty one because I'm like, man, this is good because I'm still doing everything. And then she's my extra set of eyes. So, but I do love, this is more so whether you use a TC or not, I love having a list. I love having a list of my notes on the back of
They're always,
organization.
don't you think they're always calling? That's the call I always get. And I'm doing
Mhm.
something random. And they're like, when is my escrow closing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I always just say I'm not in front of it right now. I'll have to call you back, but you've got it. So you're a little
Yeah.
more prepared than I am.
But I love being in touch with everything. I just really, it's a control thing. It just, I want to make sure I know what's going on.
Awesome disclosures. She didn't even know what was sent to me. So-
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I will say that my TC handles all that for me. I'm not, in control.
Yes,
I
you
don't,
just have to-
I don't
Yeah.
have time to do that.
Yeah.
I let my admin and my TC take care of that. I don't want to mess with that. So
Yeah.
I don't think that's,
TC, it's good because-
Yeah. yeah, absolutely.
But then also if you're TCing it yourself and you didn't catch it till closing, that's also no, because
Mhm.
TC should help catch that beforehand. So that it wouldn't be knocked down.
Yeah, I don't have a TC, but I just asked that general question.
Yeah. Everybody's a little different how they're gonna do it.
I've
What-
never, in 10 years, I've never TC'd one single file of mine.
Either have I.
On your basic. regular one. Maybe that.
What did he do?
Maybe a basic vacant land, or
Yeah,
new construction, that's it, but that's not even a TC, that's just Jackie.
Yeah.
Even that, it was like, it was like, hey, how did you see this? Come on.
Yeah, Jackie's still stuck in.
So Jared, I think, let's, in a nutshell, does not miss a lead, follows up. What else would you say are the highlights? He listens to other people, he listens to other ideas, he goes to every training. Jared has been 100% in from day one, 100%, 100% effort, 100% into the brokerage. Always open to other agents, free with his knowledge, which I think is amazing.
I've seen you travel to different trainings and stuff. I feel like
Yeah.
I've seen you on
Yeah.
social media where you're at some training.
Jared's at every event that we have. He's always at every event.
And MLS training.
And MLS trainings. And you go to when you're invited to that other brokerage invited you.
Yeah.
That other brokerage, he
Yeah.
went, which I didn't hold it against him. I wasn't mad. Little bit.
It's too funny.
And went down to Long Beach and Long Beach.
Yeah,
And it's been 3 years and you've gone 3 for 3.
yeah.
I got Ogo this year, it's in San Diego.
I have.
The energy you put in is the energy you get out in real estate. I don't care. It is. If you're putting the energy in, it's gonna come back to you. It is secular. There's ebbs and flows in real
Mhm.
estate, but definitely what you put in is what you get out. Jared is proof.
Mhm.
And when I went to the big car event this last time, I went there with the sole focus of going to that vendor thing. I was gonna find a good lead generation source. I didn't care. I didn't find one. You know, I talked to the attorneys. I love talking to them. Asked some really good questions, gained some knowledge. And then my best thing was, day 2, I think, a psychologist was a speaker and she just talked about the huge advantage of relatability to your clients, just making that personal touch,
Have you ever paid for leads other than Op City?
I haven't, but I would if I knew there's a good one, right?
Yeah,
But I haven't.
so Jared has done Op City leads, which you do pay, but it's only if you close. He's never paid for a lead.
Are there any other resources like that you use, or is it mainly just Obsidian Spirit?
Obsidian's probably 10%, and then we all know it's to get those 2 that have an escrow. I've talked to 170 people probably, so it just happens to be I got 2 right now. So sphere of influence, number 1, and then also little events. Setting up a table at any kind of. Recently, a buddy of mine hosted a Valentine's dance, so I bought 2 extra tickets. I supported him, and I gave away 2 tickets. And the people that won it, I sat with them there, and they said, "Oh, we tell everybody about you." Maybe they do. They probably, I don't know. The girls won twice in mine. She's good. I seen Jessica give away flowers, So I don't know. Just make it kind of fun, and you'll get return on investment. So be authentic about it.
You're always doing the uncomfortable things, and I think that people like that a lot. You make the videos, and when Jared and I talked with him, I said, okay, I'm gonna do the things that you do, because he doesn't just do it for social media, he's sending videos to his clients.
Right.
And I don't always get a response with a text message, but starting to do the stuff that Jared does, yeah, I'll get more of a response, sending somebody a video, talking to them about the house instead of just a text message. But also shown property for you, just once.
Yep.
And the professionalism in the introduction and the text message, the way you have everything broke down.
We
but
group
not
text,
too
right?
much.
Yep.
Yeah, really good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch his stories and I'm always like, I'll need Jared.
Too funny.
Like, he hasn't sold, I'm sold. You sold my laptop.
Well, I tried to sell your husband Creekview. I know. Yeah.
And he didn't want it to go. Okay, anything else before we wrap it up with Jared? And I just want to thank you, Jared,
Yeah.
for opening up and talking to everybody. Okay. On we go.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jared.
Of course, you're very welcome.